and we're gonna start off with K-pop, as it seems like we do every week now, because Twice dropped a new album, a short album between one and two, and Twice. I think we talked about Twice before, haven't we?
Not as a group, but we just talked about Nyan's solo debut. I'm Nyan. What
Ah,
month and a half ago? Nyan, the first Twice member to go solo. Twice a 9-member group, so there's plenty of opportunity for more solo work in the future. You can imagine, but yeah, Twice. I think you remarked at that time that you knew someone who worked
yes,
at the concert of their most
Barclays.
recent U.S. tour, which was very successful. I know it sold out back to back days in LA, 20,000 people each time. Twice is probably the second biggest female K pop group in the US right now, and also very prolific. I think that's what's so interesting about them compared to. They've only been around 1 year longer than Blackpink, but while Blackpink has only released 30 songs to their name, this is Twice's 11th EP slash mini album, and they also have 3 Korean and 4 Japanese albums. Just completely different strategy. This is tons of music on a very regular basis from Twice, and this is the 11th EP, the 11th mini album between one and two. So in a sense, it can be a bit overwhelming to just jump into a group with so much music out there. And I'm very curious what like hardcore Twice fans, the once, so I would love to know what they think of the 11th Twice EP.
Mhm.
I guess this was a good jumping in point though, because the group recently renewed their contracts with JYP Entertainment. All 9 of them renewed. So this is like the second act of Twice as a big blockbuster group. But yeah, I'd only heard some of their big songs to this point, but I did really love that Nyan solo effort. So, what did you think of between one and two? Like many mini albums, a short listen.
Yeah, only 7 songs. I thought it was pretty good. It's interesting because I think as people that listen to so much music every week, and just throughout the year, we tend to gravitate towards things that feel a little bit more edgy or weird or new in a sense. I think because we hear so much of the same type of stuff, and I found myself listening to this and being like, I don't know if there's anything here that's really like pushing the boundaries or like sounds super new, but it's all like pretty quality pop music, and I found myself like bopping along to a lot of the songs. So I kind of just left being like, this is a solid album, but I don't know if I like left feeling like this is anything that's gonna make it like an end of year list or be talked about beyond just the release. What about you?
Yeah, I totally agree, and that's why I love to know what like the more hardcore fans think. Do they kind of have a similar feeling? Because no matter how much you love an artist, you know when stuff is just stuff versus like their best stuff. Um, and because it's only positioned as an EP, as a mini album, there's not high expectations on this. This really just kind of feels like, all right, we re-signed. Here's our new thing, our new Korean thing. They just put a Japanese album out like less than 2 months ago too. So
Yeah.
regardless, yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. I definitely liked the Nyan solo work more. I thought that was just really inviting for its lightness and its summery nature. I still really like Candy Floss and No Problem a lot from that. On between one and two, I think the lead track "Talk That Talk" is pretty solid as just kind of a fun, uh, pop single. I think the hook there right before the chorus, the "Tell me what you want, tell me what you need" part. I think that part is very catchy, and I love the performance in general of the chorus. Pretty solid, but also perhaps by the numbers. Um, on the more negative side of things, I thought "Queen of Hearts," the immediate song, I thought that one was like a bit overproduced, especially like on the hook in particular. Just kind of like a lot of noise there. Um, I think "Trouble" was pretty fun. Just the rap on that one, the bass, the kick drum and the bass really sound good there. And then
Yeah.
at the end there, when we were kids, a much slower track. I actually thought the rhythm to that song, especially in the beginning, the build up was pretty good. Honestly, like I still was kind of vibing with it, even though it's an intentionally softer, quieter song. So, you know, other than that, I think it's pretty just another a solid release from a group that has a long track record of releasing at least solid music all the time, if not much better.
Yeah, I agree with all the songs you shouted out. I really liked on Trouble right around the chorus, the pianos around that I thought were
Mm.
super catchy and fun. Um, I agree with you about the rhythm on When We Were Kids. I thought that one uh, really stood out, and it almost gave me like or like mid 2000s like pop like feelings, like callbacks, like I don't know if like toned down Britney or like some of those like
Hmm.
softer like female pop songs around that time. I don't know. It was like really like touching on something in my brain for that. And yeah, Talk That Talk I think was my immediate standout. I love how K-pop seems to just always put like the bangers right at the start. They're just
Yeah,
like, here, we're gonna give you exactly what you want, and then you can enjoy the rest of the album too. But like, just
so
pull you with
funny.
that. So
Yeah,
good for them, man.
yeah. I think that's right though. That read of it feeling more older because I think Twice generally their sound is a bit more traditional, a bit more throwback pop. They almost sound more like second generation K-pop than
Mhm.
some of their contemporaries these days, which obviously has worked for them. They have a huge fan base, so definitely looking forward to the next. I think Twice full length, in particular Korean full length, just to hear what's next. Because when you have this much music out and you've just renewed your contract, surely they don't want to just do what they've been doing, and what does that entail as a result? We'll find out. I'm sure in due time. They do not leave you waiting all that long.